Deep space was quiet. Stars shone faintly in the endless black, and distant nebulae painted the darkness with soft colors of purple and blue. In this vast emptiness, a single human ship drifted near an uncharted star system. Its hull was scratched and old, but it moved with a calm purpose, like a silent predator waiting in the shadows. Nearby, alien fleets from powerful empires hovered, scanning the area. The ships were massive, glowing with strange lights and strange symbols. Their weapons were huge, their engines roaring through the void. Alien commanders on these ships talked arrogantly, their voices filled with pride. Humans? They are slow, one commander said. Wait, primitive. Not a threat to anyone. Let them be, another replied. They are nothing but insects in the galaxy. We do not even need to worry about them. The humans were tiny in comparison, almost invisible to the alien scanners, yet the alien fleets moved with caution, simply because it was habit. None of them expected danger. They believed they knew everything about humans. They were wrong. Inside the human ship, the crew moved silently. Their faces were calm, their eyes focused. They were aware of the alien presence, but they did not panic. Their ship may have looked old and small, but its systems were advanced beyond what the aliens could imagine. Hidden weapons, cloaking devices, and energy shields waited quietly, ready to awaken at the perfect moment. Suddenly, the alien sensors picked up a strange energy spike coming from the human ship. It was tiny, faint, and old, but it carried a strange power. Sensors checked that signal again, one alien commander said, frowning. It's nothing, another said, laughing. Just a minor glitch in their systems. Humans cannot produce anything this strong. They are too weak. The fleet ignored the warning and continued their patrol. But the energy signal continued to grow. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the glow from the human ship increased, like a small ember turning into a flame. On board the human ship, the crew activated the hidden core. Lights flickered across the control panels. The ship hummed quietly, a deep, powerful sound that resonated through its metal frame. It was as if something huge, long dormant, was waking up after centuries of silence. Back in the alien fleet, the commanders noticed a change. The energy spike grew brighter, sharper. Their scanners started to beep faster, warning them of something unusual. What is this? A commander asked nervously. His confidence was beginning to crack. It cannot be. It's impossible, another said. Their laughter died in their throats. The humans were doing something they had not expected. The glow from the human ship grew stronger, illuminating the darkness of space around it. For the first time, the aliens felt a small, strange fear. Something about the humans was changing, something powerful and dangerous. Inside the human ship, the captain smiled quietly. He knew the aliens thought they were weak. He knew they were ready to laugh and underestimate humanity. And that was exactly what the humans wanted. Prepare the core, the captain said softly. It's time to wake them. The ship began to move differently, faster than its small size should have allowed. Energy flowed through hidden circuits, powering systems that the aliens could not see or understand. Weapons that had been dormant for decades began to hum, charged with power beyond imagination. Outside, the alien fleets watched, unsure. Their scanners could not detect the full scale of what was happening. The humans were small, yes, but something inside that old, quiet ship was about to change everything. Then the energy spike pulsed. Bright light flared from the ship, casting long shadows across the alien vessels. The aliens instinctively stepped back, unsure what to do. This cannot be, an alien commander shouted. It's just a human ship. How? Before he could finish, the glow spread even faster. The human ship seemed alive, a small sun in the dark. Energy flowed from it like a river of light, and for the first time the alien commanders felt real fear. Something ancient, powerful, and unstoppable was awakening inside a human vessel. The crew on the human ship watched calmly. They had waited for this moment for years. The galaxy had laughed at humanity, had ignored humanity, and now the humans were ready to answer. The alien fleets, confident a minute ago, were frozen. They had assumed humans were weak. They had assumed they were nothing. And that mistake would be remembered across the galaxy forever. The human ship's core glowed brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. The moment had come. The humans were about to show the galaxy their true power. And in that quiet corner of deep space, one thought rang clear among the alien commanders. They were wrong. So wrong. The human ship drifted quietly, almost invisible against the sea of stars. From the outside it looked ordinary, worn, and slow. Nothing about it screamed power. But inside it was a fortress of secrets. Hidden deep within its hull were systems and technology that no alien race had ever seen. Weapons, engines, shields, all designed with a purpose that the galaxy could not imagine. Captain Elena Voss walked through the control deck, her eyes calm and focused. Every screen flickered with information, showing the position of alien fleets, energy readings, and star charts. To anyone watching her, she was calm. To the humans under her command, she was steady. To the aliens, she was invisible. "Status report," she said, her voice steady, echoing through the control room. "Energy cores at maximum efficiency," replied Lieutenant Kieran. "Cloaking shields fully operational. The fleet sensors show minimal detection by nearby alien systems. They still think we are weak." Elena smiled faintly. "Good. Let them think that. The galaxy loves to underestimate us. And it's about time they learn the truth. Humans had always been underestimated. In the eyes of most alien civilizations, humans were primitive. Their ships were small. Their weapons were outdated. Their fleets were tiny. But humans were clever, adaptable, and patient. They studied the galaxy, learned from every encounter, and built their secret power quietly in silence. "Captain," Kieran said, pointing at a screen, "the alien supply convoy is approaching their next waypoint. Minimal escort. This is our chance." Elena nodded. "Good. But remember, we do not fight blindly. Precision, speed, and surprise. We strike where they least expect, and we strike hard." The humans were about to reveal their secret, the Alpha Core. It was hidden deep in the ship, shielded from all scanners, and it powered weapons and systems beyond anything the aliens could imagine. A single burst from it could disable an alien cruiser instantly. Meanwhile, the alien fleets floated nearby, unaware of the danger. Commander Vorth of the Xyrillian Armada leaned over his console, smirking. "Look at them," he said, pointing at the small human ship. "Pathetic. I cannot believe the Council worries about this species. One tiny ship against our fleets? Nothing. Absolute nothing." "Perhaps we should send a warning?" asked another commander, nervously glancing at the sensors. Vorth laughed. "A warning? For what? They will die before they even understand what is happening. Do not waste my time." Back on the human ship, Elena and her crew prepared for action. Drones slid out from hidden bays, invisible to alien scanners. Miniature AI fighters activated their engines, humming silently as they formed perfect formations. Energy fields shimmered across the ship's hull, and every weapon system powered up in silent anticipation. "Alpha Core online," said Kieran. "All systems ready." Elena nodded. "Good. Begin the cloaking sequence and move to intercept the supply convoy. Minimal casualties, maximum effect." The ship slipped through space like a shadow, cloaked and silent. No alien sensors could detect it. When the humans reached the convoy, the fleet was spread thin, focused only on their own patrol routes. The humans waited. Patience was their greatest weapon. Then in a sudden flash, the cloaking field dropped. The human ship accelerated, faster than its size should have allowed. Energy beams flared from hidden weapon ports, striking the alien supply ships with surgical precision. Explosions lit the darkness, but no alien fleet nearby noticed at first. The humans struck, retreated, and struck again, over and over. Inside the alien flagship, alarms blared. Sensors detected tiny, fast-moving projectiles striking supply ships. But the fleet could not locate the source. "Impossible," shouted Commander Vorth. "Our sensors, they cannot see them." The human secret weapons were too advanced. Microdrones attacked engines while energy pulses scrambled systems. Alien shields, built to withstand massive assaults, failed against the humans' precise strikes. One by one, supply ships were disabled. Some were destroyed completely. Elena watched the feed calmly. "Keep moving. Avoid the main fleet. Target their resources. This is the first message. Underestimate us and you will lose more than you expect." The humans struck again, faster and harder than before. And yet, they were careful. No unnecessary destruction, no exposure to the main alien fleet. Every move was calculated, every strike planned. The humans wanted the aliens to know that this was not luck. This was skill. This was intelligence. Meanwhile, alien fleets scrambled to respond. Panic spread across command decks. "What is attacking us?" one shouted. "A single ship? How?" Vorth's face turned pale. These humans? I thought they were weak. I thought we were safe." But the humans were not done. From the depths of the ship, larger energy cores activated. They were preparing for the next phase, showing the full extent of their secret technology. The alien fleets, still confused and panicked, had no idea what was coming next. Elena turned to her crew. Phase 2 will begin shortly. Stay calm. Strike hard, strike fast, and remember, the galaxy has always underestimated humanity. Let's remind them why that is a mistake. The human ship glowed faintly as hidden energy fields activated. Weapons lined up silently, engines pulsed, and drones hovered in perfect formations. The moment had come to take the first step in proving that humans were far stronger than any alien race had ever imagined. In the darkness of space, the small human ship moved like a predator. Invisible, underestimated, and deadly. And somewhere in the alien fleet, confidence began to crumble. Something was awakening, a force they had ignored, a species they had mocked. For the humans, this was only the beginning. The galaxy would soon learn a lesson it would never forget. The darkness of deep space was broken by sudden flashes of light. The human ship, small and silent a moment ago, now moved with speed and precision that no alien fleet could anticipate. Hidden drones spread out like shadows, weaving through asteroid fields and sensor arrays. From a distance, it looked like nothing, a tiny ship alone in the vast emptiness, but the reality was very different. On the bridge of the alien flagship, Commander Vorth and his officers stared at the screens in disbelief. What is happening?" an officer shouted. "Our supply ships, disabled? Oh, they were fine a minute ago." Vorth slammed his clawed hand on the console. "This cannot be. One human ship, one tiny ship, has destroyed half our convoy? Impossible." But the humans were not done. Captain Elena Voss, calm as ever, gave quiet orders to her crew. Phase 3. Engage drones and begin coordinated strikes. Avoid the main fleet. Disable their defenses first. From hidden bays inside the human ship, dozens of drones shot out like silver streaks of light. Each drone carried miniature energy cannons, shields, and AI guidance systems. They moved with perfect synchronization, avoiding enemy fire, striking where the alien defenses were weakest. The first explosion rocked the alien supply fleet. One cruiser lost power entirely, drifting helplessly as its engines sparked. Another ship's weapons system went offline, leaving it defenseless. The aliens scrambled, firing back blindly, but the humans were gone, moving too fast, too precise. "Impossible," Vorth shouted again. "Their shields, their weapons, everything is functioning perfectly." How? The humans' secret was simple yet deadly. They had studied the alien technology for years. Every ship, every weapon, every shield had a weakness. Humans did not rely on brute force. They relied on knowledge, strategy, and precision. One strike at the right point could disable a ship instantly. Elena watched the monitors carefully. Her crew communicated silently, using signals that the aliens could not intercept. Every movement was calculated, every attack planned. Humans had learned that in the galaxy, survival depended on brains as much as weapons. The alien fleet attempted to organize a counterattack. Massive cruisers formed defensive formations, energy shields glowing bright as they aimed weapons at the human ship. Missiles and laser beams streaked through space, leaving trails of light in the darkness. But humans had prepared for this. Cloaking devices activated, causing the ship to vanish from the alien sensors. Hidden engines boosted the ship forward, weaving through the barrage of enemy fire. Drones created decoys, luring missiles away, while the humans struck with surgical precision at critical systems. One by one, the alien ships began to fall. A cruiser lost its engine. A frigate's weapons jammed. The flagship itself was forced to maneuver defensively, trying to cover the chaos in its fleet. "Commander Vorth," an officer cried. "We are losing control. The humans, they are superior." Vorth's face turned pale. "No, we underestimated them. This is unacceptable." In the midst of the battle, the human ship's alpha core pulsed. Hidden energy beams shot out from concealed weapon ports, striking multiple targets at once. The alien ships shuddered under attacks they could not even see. The humans were a ghost fleet, a single ship controlling chaos, invisible and unstoppable. Elena's eyes glimmered with determination. "They laughed at us," she said quietly. "They called us weak. Let's show them what humans can do." The crew responded instantly. Miniature drones moved like a storm, disabling shields, scrambling sensors, and striking critical points on alien ships. Each strike was precise, designed to cause maximum effect with minimal exposure. Humans were not reckless, they were efficient. The alien fleet, once arrogant and confident, now struggled to maintain formation. Confusion spread like wildfire across their ranks. Commanders shouted orders, but the humans had already anticipated every move. Every escape route was predicted, every counterattack neutralized before it could even happen. Then came the first major shock. From the human ship, a powerful energy pulse erupted, striking the alien flagship directly. The massive vessel shook violently, alarms blaring everywhere. Systems failed, shields collapsed, and energy flowed chaotically. No, this cannot be. Vorth screamed, watching in horror as the humans struck again and again. They are just humans? The human ship moved with grace, avoiding incoming fire while delivering precise strikes. For every alien attempt at counterattack, the humans had a response ready. It was as if they had predicted every thought, every calculation of their enemies. Even the alien council, monitoring from far away, could not believe what they saw. A single human ship had caused devastation in a fleet designed to crush planets. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and that mistake was already costing them dearly. Elena gave her final order for the phase. Focus all drones on the remaining cruisers. Prepare the Alpha Core for maximum output. This battle will end now. Energy surged through the human ship. Hidden cannons glowed, engines pulsed, and drones formed a deadly net around the alien ships. One by one the enemy cruisers fell. Power cores exploded, weapon systems overloaded, and entire ships drifted helplessly in the void. Commander Vorth watched his empire crumble in disbelief. They are stronger than us, stronger than anything we have ever faced. The humans, calm and precise, had proven the first point. Size and numbers do not always matter. Knowledge, strategy, and courage could defeat even the mightiest enemy. As the human ship retreated into the darkness, cloaking again, the aliens were left in chaos. Communications were jammed, fleets scattered, and the arrogance of centuries had been shattered in a matter of minutes. Captain Elena Voss looked at her crew, proud but composed. "Remember this moment," she said. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy has mocked us for too long. Today they learned the first lesson. The humans had struck once, and the message was clear. Never underestimate humanity." And somewhere in the shadows of deep space, the alien fleets realized a terrifying truth. Humans were not just survivors. They were predators in their own right. The galaxy would never see them the same way again. The remnants of the alien fleet floated in chaos. Smoke and sparks drifted through space where cruisers had fallen, their massive hulls scarred and broken. For the first time, the galaxy's most powerful fleets faced a species they had believed weak and insignificant. Humans. Captain Elena Voss watched from the bridge of the human ship, her eyes scanning the alien formations on the holographic display. Her crew moved with calm precision, operating every system like a well-oiled machine. Every strike, every movement, was part of a plan that the aliens could not see or anticipate. "Enemy formations are attempting to regroup," Lieutenant Kieran said. "They are trying to stabilize their ships, but their shields are weak. They are confused and communication is disrupted." Elena nodded. "Good. That confusion is our advantage. Phase 4 begins now." The human ship split its drones into multiple squads. Each squad moved like shadows, invisible to alien sensors, striking weak points in the fleet's defenses. One squad disabled weapon systems, another sabotaged engines, and a third created false signals that made the aliens fire on each other. The alien commanders were panicked. "Focus on that ship," shouted Commander Vorth. "Do not let them destroy more ships." But it was too late. Humans had already turned the tide of battle. Every movement of the aliens had been predicted, every counterattack neutralized before it could even reach the human ship. Their arrogance had blinded them, and now the human strategic genius was unstoppable. "Deploy the shadow drones," Elena ordered. "This will confuse them further. Let them think there are dozens of ships." The shadow drones appeared, invisible until they struck. Alien sensors registered multiple contacts, all moving in different directions. Missiles were fired, lasers aimed, but every shot missed. Humans had created illusions, false targets, and perfectly timed distractions. The aliens' once confident fleet now resembled a flailing beast, striking blindly at shadows. "Captain, the flagship is trying to escape," Kieran said. "They are regrouping near the outer edge of the sector." Elena smiled faintly. "Good. Let them run. We will meet them on our terms. Humans do not chase blindly, they control the battlefield." The human ship accelerated, faster than the aliens thought possible. Energy surged through hidden engines, propelling it like a comet through the void. Drones moved in formation around it, forming a protective net. Every alien ship that tried to approach was met with precision strikes, disabling engines, shields, and weapons. The aliens' morale was collapsing. "We underestimated them," one officer admitted, fear creeping into his voice. "We thought humans were weak. We thought we could crush them easily." Vorth's face was pale, his claws gripping the console. "We cannot lose, not to humans. They are primitive. They should not be capable of this. Find a solution." But humans had already found the solution. Elena ordered a calculated maneuver, a trap that no alien could escape. Using cloaked drones and precise navigation, they cut off the alien fleet's retreat, isolating the flagship and the largest cruisers. Every move was designed to create maximum panic. "Prepare the Alpha Core," Elena said. "Target the flagship. This ends now." Inside the human ship, systems hummed with power. Energy flowed through hidden channels, charging weapons that could strike multiple targets simultaneously. Shields glimmered, absorbing potential attacks before they reached the hull. Every system was optimized for efficiency, speed, and deadly accuracy. The humans struck with sudden precision. Drones disabled engines on the alien flagship. Energy pulses overloaded weapon systems. The massive ship shuddered under attacks it could not comprehend. Alien crews scrambled in panic, unable to respond effectively. "They are controlling the battlefield," an alien officer gasped. "It is impossible, one ship, one small human vessel, against our fleet?" But it was not impossible. It was strategy, intelligence, and patience. Humans had turned the galaxy's underestimation into their greatest weapon. Every strike, every movement had been planned for maximum effect with minimum exposure. Elena observed the battle calmly. Phase 4 complete. Focus remaining drones on the isolated cruisers. Prepare for the next strike. The human ship moved with precision, striking multiple targets simultaneously. Cruiser after cruiser fell, engines failing, shields collapsing, weapon systems overloaded. The aliens were trapped in a nightmare they could not escape. Every attempt at counterattack failed. Every retreat was anticipated and blocked. Vorth shouted orders in desperation. "Concentrate fire on that ship. Destroy it before it destroys us all." But the humans were already gone, cloaked, moving to another strategic point. The fleet was in chaos, scattered, and their confidence shattered. Humans were not just attacking, they were controlling the battle. The aliens were reacting, not acting. "Captain," Kieran said, "they are sending reinforcements from the next sector. More ships are on the way." Elena nodded. "Let them come. We will be ready. The galaxy has underestimated humans for too long. It is time they learned the cost of that mistake." The human ship hovered like a shadow over the battlefield, invisible yet dominant. Every drone, every energy pulse, every maneuver had a purpose. Humans were patient hunters, striking only when it gave them maximum advantage. The aliens, once proud and confident, were reduced to panic and confusion. "Humans," Vorth whispered, disbelief and fear mixing in his voice. "They are incredible. How did we not see this coming?" The humans had turned the tables. The galaxy's most powerful fleet had underestimated a single species. That mistake was now fatal. The humans had proven that intelligence, strategy, and precision could defeat even the mightiest enemy. Captain Elena Voss looked at her crew. "Remember this moment. This is what happens when the galaxy underestimates humanity. Today we are not just survivors. We are a force to be reckoned with." The human ship glowed faintly as hidden systems recharged, preparing for the next stage of the conflict. The aliens were scattered, their morale shattered. They had learned the first lesson: never underestimate humans. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the human ship waited, calm, patient, and deadly, ready for the next strike. The galaxy had just begun to realize the true power of humanity. The alien fleet was in chaos. Smoke and sparks drifted through the void of space as massive cruisers struggled to maintain control. For the first time in history, a species they had assumed weak and primitive had shattered their confidence. "Humans." Captain Elena Voss watched from the bridge of the human ship, calm and focused. Every movement of the alien fleet was tracked in real time. Every weakness, every blind spot had already been analyzed. The humans were not just surviving, they were taking control of the battlefield. "Captain," Lieutenant Kieran said, pointing to the holographic display, "their flagship is attempting to regroup near the edge of the sector. They are organizing what remains of their fleet for a counterattack." Elena nodded. "Let them try. We will not react blindly. We will strike where they are weakest and end this before they realize it." The humans' hidden weapons activated. Energy flowed through the Alpha Core, charging pulse cannons, drones, and hidden turrets. The ship's engines thrummed, propelling it faster than the aliens thought possible. Every system was coordinated for maximum efficiency. The first wave of attacks came from the humans' drones. Hundreds of miniature fighters swarmed the alien ships like a storm. Energy pulses struck engines, weapon systems, and shields. The aliens tried to retaliate, but every attack was anticipated, every defense neutralized. Impossible. Commander Vorth shouted on the bridge of the flagship. One ship, one human ship, is destroying our fleet. The human ship remained unseen, cloaked and mobile, striking at will. Every pulse, every shot was precise. Alien ships exploded in silent fire, drifting helplessly in space as humans moved to the next target. Elena observed the battlefield with cold precision. Prepare for Phase 5, she ordered. Focus on their command and control ships. Without them, the rest of their fleet is nothing. The human ship released specialized drones, each designed to infiltrate the alien ship systems. Tiny machines slipped through shields, silently disabling communication arrays, weapon controls, and engines. The aliens panicked as their fleets became disorganized, unable to coordinate even basic maneuvers. Vortha's officers shouted orders, but every instruction was too late. The humans had predicted their strategy and countered before they could act. One by one, the alien ships fell into confusion, their formations breaking apart. "Captain," Kieran said, "the remaining cruisers are retreating toward the sector boundary. If we intercept, we can force a full surrender." Elena smiled faintly. "Good. Set the intercept vector. Let's finish this." The human ship accelerated, weaving through debris and drifting wrecks. Energy from the Alpha Core pulsed in rhythm with its engines, propelling the vessel faster than the aliens could track. Cloaking fields shimmered, disappearing and reappearing at will. Drones moved ahead, creating false targets and luring the remaining alien ships into traps. The humans struck with surgical precision. One cruiser had its engines disabled, leaving it drifting helplessly. Another had its weapon system overloaded, unable to fire. The flagship itself struggled to maintain control, its massive size no match for the humans' speed and intelligence. "Focus all fire on the flagship," Vorth shouted. "Destroy it before they can strike again." But the humans had already planned for this. Hidden energy cannons fired simultaneously from multiple angles, striking the flagship's weak points. Shields faltered, systems overloaded, and alarms blared throughout the massive vessel. The aliens had no way to escape. Inside the human ship, Elena remained calm. "This is the final phase," she said. "Concentrate on their core systems. End this quickly and efficiently." The Alpha Core pulsed one final time. Hidden cannons fired with unstoppable force. Drones struck simultaneously, hitting engines, shields, and weapon arrays. The flagship shuddered violently, sparks flying across its hull. Alien officers screamed in panic as they realized their empire's power was collapsing before a single human ship. "Commander Vorth," one officer whispered, disbelief and fear mixing in his voice. They are unstoppable." But it was not luck. It was strategy. It was intelligence. It was humanity. The human ship moved with purpose, striking remaining cruisers in succession. The alien fleet had no chance to recover. Energy pulses disabled engines, weapon systems failed, and shields collapsed. Each strike was precise, leaving the aliens helpless. Finally, the flagship began to falter. Power cores overloaded, weapon systems shut down, and the massive ship drifted silently. Vorth watched in disbelief as humans, a species they had mocked for centuries, proved their superiority. "Prepare a surrender signal," one officer said, trembling. "We cannot fight them, they are too strong." Elena watched as the last resistance fell. The humans had achieved the impossible. A single ship, guided by intelligence, precision, and strategy, had decimated a fleet believed to be unbeatable. "Send a message across the sector," Elena ordered. "Let all alien fleets know that humans are not to be underestimated. This is a warning, not a threat, yet." The human ship glowed faintly as hidden systems powered down, preparing for retreat. Drones returned to the vessel, cloaking activated, and the ship drifted silently into the void. The alien fleet was shattered, their arrogance destroyed, and the galaxy had learned the first of many lessons. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. Vorth, defeated and humiliated, looked at the destruction around him. They are stronger than us, stronger than anything we have faced." And far away in the darkness of deep space, Captain Elena Voss smiled faintly. The humans had struck once. The message was clear. Underestimate humanity at your own risk. The galaxy would never see them the same way again. The remnants of the alien fleet regrouped near the outer edge of the star system, battered, confused, and terrified. Their massive cruisers and frigates were crippled, and morale was at its lowest. Only one vessel remained fully operational, the alien flagship. Its colossal size and heavily armored hull made it a terrifying presence, even after the destruction humans had inflicted. Commander Vorth paced the bridge of the flagship, claws tapping on the console. Sweat, unusual for his species, dripped down his brow. "This cannot be happening," he growled. "One human ship, one single ship, has brought us to the brink of destruction." "How?" "This is madness," another officer shouted. "Our weapons, our shields, nothing works. They are intelligent. Too intelligent." Vortha's eyes narrowed. "Intelligence? They are humans. Primitive, tiny, weak. And yet, we failed." Far away in the darkness of space, the human ship waited. Captain Elena Voss and her crew had studied the flagship in detail. Every system, every weapon array, every shield configuration had been analyzed for weaknesses. Humans did not rely on size, numbers, or brute force. They relied on strategy, precision, and patience. "Phase 6 begins now," Elena said quietly. "Target the flagship directly. All drones full power. Alpha Core, prepare maximum output." The human ship accelerated, engines glowing as hidden energy fields powered up. Drones surged ahead, invisible to alien sensors, moving in perfect formation. Cloaking fields shimmered, making the vessel appear as nothing more than a ghost in space. The alien flagship detected movement and fired, energy beams tearing through the void. Massive explosions rocked nearby asteroids, but the human ship remained unharmed. It had anticipated every shot, every maneuver. "Impossible," Vorth roared. "They are dodging every attack." The humans' attack was not random, it was deliberate. Drones targeted weak points, disabling weapons, engines, and communication arrays. Each strike was calculated for maximum effect. The flagship's shields, designed to withstand massive assaults, were failing against precise human energy pulses. "Captain," Kieran said, pointing at the display, "they are overloading their core defenses. If we strike now, we can force a complete shutdown." Elena nodded. "Do it. Focus on the main reactor and shield generators. Everything else follows." The Alpha Core pulsed, releasing controlled energy waves that bypassed the flagship's shields. Hidden cannons fired simultaneously from multiple angles, striking with surgical precision. The alien vessel shuddered violently. Sparks and smoke erupted from its hull as systems began to fail. Inside the flagship, alien officers screamed in panic. Missiles misfired, weapons overloaded, and shields flickered. For the first time, Commander Vorth felt true fear. The humans were not just attacking, they were dismantling his ship piece by piece. "Evasive maneuvers," he shouted. "Divert power to shields. Fire all remaining weapons." It was too late. Every move had been anticipated. The human ship, small and invisible, struck again and again, each attack crippling another system. Drones infiltrated the vessel, shutting down engines and communication networks. Alien sailors watched helplessly as their massive ship became a floating corpse in space. Elena's crew remained calm. "Phase 6 complete," she said. "Now deliver the final message." The human ship powered its Alpha Core to maximum output. Energy beams surged outward in a precise pattern, targeting the flagship's reactor. Alarms blared across the alien vessel as energy overload spread through its core. Systems failed one by one. Engines exploded. Weapons melted. The flagship shuddered violently, then drifted silently, powerless, in the void. Vortha's claws shook on the console. We cannot fight them, they are invincible." Elena watched the monitors, eyes steady. The humans had not just defeated the flagship, they had demonstrated the full extent of their strategy, intelligence, and power. The aliens had assumed weakness. They had mocked humanity. And now the humans had shown them their fatal mistake. "Send a universal transmission," Elena ordered. "Let all alien fleets know, humanity is not to be underestimated. We are intelligent, capable, and united. This is the first warning." The human ship moved silently away, cloaked once more. Drones returned to their bays and systems powered down to conserve energy. The alien fleet, scattered and broken, could only watch in disbelief. "Captain," Kieran said, "the surviving alien forces are retreating. They are sending signals, begging for mercy." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Let them. The galaxy needs to understand one thing: humans are patient, clever, and deadly. And those who underestimate us will regret it. Vorth slumped in defeat, staring at the destruction. They are more than we imagined. How could we have failed so completely? Humans had shown that strength was not measured in size or numbers. It was measured in courage, intelligence, and unity. The galaxy had laughed at humanity for centuries. Now every species would know the truth. As the human ship drifted silently through the dark expanse of space, Elena allowed herself a faint smile. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "They will learn one by one the true power of humanity." The stars around them sparkled in silence, but somewhere in the distance, alien fleets whispered in fear and disbelief. Humans were no longer a species to underestimate. They were predators in the galaxy, patient, intelligent, and unstoppable. And the galaxy would never forget the day one small, seemingly weak human ship brought the most powerful alien fleet to its knees. The legend of humanity had begun. The remnants of the alien fleets fled into deep space, battered and broken. Their massive ships, once symbols of arrogance and power, now drifted like lifeless husks. Commanders communicated frantically with each other, trying to understand what had happened, but no words could explain it. One small human ship, seemingly weak and insignificant, had shattered their fleets and defeated their most powerful flagship. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the human ship, calm and steady. Her crew moved with quiet efficiency, performing checks on weapons, engines, and drones. They had fought brilliantly, but their victory had not come from brute force alone. Humans had won because of intelligence, strategy, patience, and unity. "Status report," Elena said. Her voice was soft yet carried authority. "All systems operational, Captain," Lieutenant Kieran replied. "Drones returning to base. Alien fleets retreating. No significant casualties among our crew. The sector is secure." Elena nodded. "Good. Begin universal transmission. Let the galaxy know, humanity is strong, clever, and united. This is a warning. Never underestimate us." The transmission spread quickly, reaching alien colonies and empires across nearby sectors. Screens flickered with the human symbol, a small emblem that now carried a powerful message. For the first time, the galaxy understood that humans were no longer weak or primitive. They were a force to be reckoned with. On board alien ships, officers stared in disbelief. They are not what we thought," one whispered. "They are incredible." Commander Vorth, defeated and humiliated, slumped in his chair. His massive claws gripped the console as he stared at the flickering lights of the human ship on distant sensors. "We underestimated them," he muttered. "We made the biggest mistake in galactic history." Meanwhile, the human ship moved silently through the sector, ensuring that no remaining alien threats could regroup or retaliate. Every destroyed ship, every disabled fleet, had been left in a controlled state. Humans were not reckless conquerors, they were disciplined, precise, and measured. They had proven their strength without unnecessary destruction. Elena walked along the bridge, observing her crew. Their faces were calm but proud. Every member had played a part in the victory. Every strategy, every maneuver, every strike had been coordinated to perfection. The galaxy had mocked humanity for centuries, but now the humans had shown that intelligence, courage, and unity could triumph over size and power. "Captain," Kieran said quietly, "we have intercepted multiple signals from alien leaders requesting negotiations. They want peace, and they want to avoid further conflict." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Let them come. They need to understand that humans are not just survivors. We are guardians of our people and our systems. Any empire that threatens that will face the same consequences." The ship glided silently through space, leaving a trail of quiet authority. Everywhere alien forces whispered of humanity's might. Systems that had once laughed at human weakness now planned carefully, reconsidering every assessment they had made. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. Back on the human ship, Elena reviewed the battle logs. Every maneuver, every strike, every counterattack had been executed flawlessly. She allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had not only survived, they had thrived. And this was only the beginning. "Captain," Kieran said, "what do we do now?" "The galaxy, it knows we exist and they know we are strong. They may try again." Elena's gaze turned toward the stars. "Let them try. We are ready for anything. Humans do not fight blindly, we plan, we adapt, and we overcome. The galaxy has learned our first lesson. There will be many more if they test us." In distant sectors, alien fleets communicated in panic. Word of the humans' victory spread faster than light. Colonies that had never even encountered humanity began to prepare defenses. The arrogance of centuries had been replaced with respect and fear. For the first time, humans had earned a place in the galaxy not as weaklings, but as equals, as predators, as a species to be respected and feared. Meanwhile, the human ship returned to its homeworld, a planet small by galactic standards but rich in life and technology. Its people welcomed the returning crew as heroes. They had always believed in humanity's potential, but now the galaxy itself would see their strength. Elena stood on the observation deck watching the stars. "This is not the end," she said quietly. "It is only the beginning. Humans have been underestimated for too long. Now the galaxy knows the truth, and we will continue to show it." Around her, the crew smiled faintly. They had fought with intelligence, courage, and unity. They had proven that even in a galaxy of giants, humans could rise, outsmart, and outfight the strongest opponents. The alien fleets would rebuild. The galaxy would adapt. But one truth was now undeniable: humans were no longer the underdogs. They were a force to be reckoned with. A single small ship had changed the course of history. A species thought weak had become a legend. And somewhere deep in the uncharted sectors, humans prepared for the future. Their technology, their strategy, and their courage would continue to grow. The galaxy had learned a lesson that it would never forget. Never underestimate humanity. The stars shimmered silently, witnesses to the rise of a new power. The humans had won not just a battle, they had won the respect of the galaxy. And their story, their legend, had only just begun. The age of humanity had arrived.